Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg.
I'm Emily.
And I'm going to be doing most of the talking in this one because it's a book that I read. She didn't. It's a book that's hard to get a hold of, though. So
maybe someday I'll read it. But for right now,
yeah.
I'm just along for the ride.
Its title it's the next in my Austen Hall series, Into the Infinite. We are Telltale Books, bringing you the best in literature, literary topics, and graphic design and bookmaking.
If you want to support us, you can find us on Etsy and Pango, where you can find gently used, rare, and even top quality used books.
And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even that bell to be notified when new videos go live.
Thanks for joining us.
So, Into the Infinite is a very interesting story. It's the sequel to Austen Hall's second story titled The Rebel Soul, which was just a short, I think it was a novelette length work. Well, this one was a whole novel. It was serialized originally in 6 parts and then serialized in 4 parts in the 1940s in a different magazine. Never published as a book.
Oh, interesting.
It has never been published as a book. So perfect Telltale Books kind of find.
Yeah.
And to be brief about what it's about is the character that is called the Rebel Soul, the guy that seems to have this being take control of him. It continues his story as he sets out to try to cause chaos all over the world.
Ooh, I love a little chaos goblin.
And Walter, who was his stepbrother, and who the rebel soul, his name was George Witherspoon, I believe. He was adopted because he lost his parents, and so he was adopted by Walter's family. So the two of them grew up, and in the Rebel Soul, at the end of the story, spoiler for the Rebel Soul, at the end of the story, George kind of destroys Walter's life. Well,
as siblings do.
Walter gets him back with the help of a guy who calls himself the Master. Not like he's not a villain like in Doctor Who. He's actually a good guy. But this story takes that story and continues with it, where George comes back after having been defeated by Walter. He comes back from somewhere. He's still kind of the same sort of evil person, but there's part of him that wants to do good. So there's a battle within him of good and evil.
A character change. He's got a character arc now.
Yeah. And, well, I'm trying to keep this a brief synopsis, and I'm not doing so well. The way to think of this is like, it is the way the author describes it in the story. It's halfway between Frankenstein and Faust.
Okay.
And there's a good bit, the author doesn't say this part, but there's a good bit of Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Nietzsche thrown in.
Interesting.
Which, that's what makes this a really, really amazing, incredible story. Okay, it is a pulp story, so the writing is what you would expect of pulp
fairly
magazines
average.
but better than most pulp writers.
Okay.
The characters are better, the story is better. It is an adventure story, so it is plotted more like an adventure story, but there's just so much imagination and so much intelligence thrown into it through this combination. This is where I'll start getting into some spoilery type stuff. So basically, it's a great story. This is a top tale, guys. This why it has never been published in book form is just astounding me. This story was so incredible. It should have been published as a book. It's been overlooked completely. The Rebel Soul has been anthologized many times over the years. Into the Infinite was published serialized originally in All Story Weekly from April 12th to May 17th, 1919.
Okay.
After that, its only other publication was in Famous Fantastic Mysteries magazine in 4 parts from October 1942 to March 1943.
Dang.
And it has not been published at all since.
Not as a complete work.
No.
Wow.
Well, it hasn't been published at all since. You want to read it, you have to get, the best way to get a hold of it is there are PDFs of the Famous Fantastic Mysteries magazines. That's where I got it.
Yeah.
So you read it as a PDF. I looked into the possibility of even buying the original All Story Weeklies. Very hard to get a hold of those. You can buy the original Famous Fantastic Mysteries, but you're going to pay $60 to $80 per issue.
Yeah, I believe it.
And you have 4 parts to get. But the Famous Fantastic Mysteries installments of it have beautiful drawings by Virgil Finlay.
That's cool.
Did an amazing job illustrating that. So that's the ideal version there. But it is old pulp magazines, so they're most likely going to be yellowed and falling apart, crumbling away, and expensive.
Yeah.
So, this really needs to be put into a book.
Yeah.
It needs to be published as a book. I mean,
agree.
even companies that are doing the because it is public domain. It's 1919, and I did a search online asking the question if there was any kind of copyright, and came up. I mean, this isn't definitive, but doing a search on the internet of is there any copyright current on this? The answer came back no, that it is public domain. The copyright on this has lapsed. So, there are companies that do print on demand versions of a lot of the public domain books, and so there's almost everything in print. Not this. It's not out there in any form.
Yeah.
As a book that you can buy. And what's going on here, there's going to be spoilers from this point on, but it's too cool not to dive into.
Yeah.
What's going on is, this strange thing happens to Walter. They think he's possessed by some kind of demon. And so the master and George, the master and Walter pursue him then. And at one point they see him sitting with this old, really creepy looking old guy. And when they talk to George about it, George kind of hints that he made a deal for his soul. So they're thinking, okay, this creepy old guy is the devil. No, creepy old guy is not actually the devil. I mean, there's these hints that Austin Hall makes where he could pull it over into a standard, stereotypical type Christian deal with the devil type story.
Yeah.
But then he always veers off in this other direction.
Interesting.
And dispels that and takes it into an occult direction, but more scientifically occult. And the old guy isn't anything supernatural. He is just a person, but he is really old. And he did call up some forces from what is always just described as the infinite. And he makes a deal with George that George is capable of basically doing anything. Nothing is
He's all
nothing.
powerful.
He can do whatever he wants to anybody. And so George has all these superpowers. And unfortunately, the wording of this particular deal makes it so that George can actually control this old guy.
Oh, interesting.
So the old guy is gets all pissed off, and George is, the story eventually after George has destroyed a number of, he's done a number of things that are evil, but were to evil people. So, and Hall pulls into historical things. He is in Russia,
Oh,
making
interesting.
doing things to destroy the czars, which leads to the Russian Revolution. He's in Germany, doing things to destroy the Kaiser, which will eventually lead to World War I and the downfall of the Kaiser. He does things to industrialists to destroy their fortunes. He had, Walter had been owner of a bank, so he did something against Walter, so that Walter lost all his money. But then at the same time, he did something so that later on Walter could recover it. So there's this kernel of goodness inside George, but he's going around destroying all these people. But these are all people that had already done a great deal to hurt other people. And that's the only people that George is going and destroying. Okay, so ultimately he wants to become a good person. So he gets into a fight with the old guy. And then there's a substantial portion of the book where the two of them are chasing each other, and George and the Master try to follow them, and it all ends up at this castle of silence. It's up on this tall mountain overlooking a valley, and there's a town, and you can see cars and people down the town.
Interesting.
But up in the valley, there's something being kept in one of the towers on the castle.
Interesting.
And Walter and the Master try to pursue it to find out what that is, and they find the Master and this old guy confronting one another in this library.
Having a showdown.
Well, sort of, except they're just there reading. But they actually
I can read more about the occult than you can.
But they actually are challenging one another, challenging each other's wills there, and it's, so the whole thing ends in this really weird castle with these weird things going on, and then George comes to the castle. I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah.
This thing is mind-blowing, very imaginative,
so it's kind of more
really
of a
cool story.
Fantasy than anything.
It's fantasy, but it's also science fiction. It's occult. It's religious. It's philosophy. It's everything all rolled up into this.
That's really cool.
Into this really cool, very complicated adventure story, which, like I say, the Zarathustra part is the fact that George does become so powerful. He becomes a Superman. He becomes more than human.
Yeah. Interesting.
And he describes human beings as being just like shadows of humanity.
Like he's the Uberman,
he's the
essentially.
Full humanity, and everyone else is just a shadow of humanity.
Interesting.
And, but he was the creation of the old guy. He's Frankenstein's monster, but instead of being a monster, he becomes the hero. He becomes a Superman. So there's the Frankenstein connection. And the Faust connection is that deal with the devil kind of thing, except it isn't really a devil, though it does turn out that the old guy is Faust.
Oh, that's cool. I like that little twist in there.
He was a professor that dabbled in certain things and discovered this access to this infinite.
He dabbled too close to hell.
Where he's able to tap into all these superpowers, and that's how he's able to bestow the superpowers on George. Is he puts George out into the infinite and brings him back.
Ooh, interesting.
And exactly what this infinite is not, there's not a concrete description, of course.
It's an experience.
It's
a realm of experience.
Yeah, it's some outside realm. So there's a whole occult side that comes into this.
That's
very complicated story. Brilliant story. And well written.
Yeah.
Austin Hall is not a bad writer. The worst thing about it is the girl in it. She's kind of flat, but
sometimes a story needs a female character to be kind of flat and a little dumb because the audience needs something explained to them, and you just need a character who's a little dumb.
Yeah.
Who needs something explained to them.
Yeah.
I think they serve their purpose. I hate that it's always a female, but...
But I think in this story, it really is kind of showing sign of the times, the way things were.
Yeah.
In pulp magazines in 1919. It's kind of...
what attracted a type of audience, yeah.
It's kind of the simplistic characterization of women that you would get from Edgar Rice Burroughs, or
very stereotypical.
Most of the other pulp authors of that time period. And so it doesn't, and that does kind of hold the story back a bit, but even though she's a major part of the story eventually, most of the story doesn't involve her. So it's kind of easy to overlook and focus on the rest of the story. And the rest of the story just has such great ideas and terrific adventure.
Yeah, that's cool.
And a convoluted plot. I never knew where this thing was going from.
That's
one
really fun.
chapter
I
to
do
the
like
next.
a challenging plot like that because I tend to find that a lot of things are predictable. Like we just finished reading Jeff Vandermeer's Authority, and that one kept me guessing too. And I love a book that can do that. Because a lot of the time it's too easy for me to put two and two together. So, I like stories like that.
So yeah, I'm kind of thinking if nobody else does it, it would be a good one for us to take the Rebel Soul and Into the Infinite and put them together in a book.
I think that would be fantastic.
And illustrate the hell out of it.
Yeah. Do it.
Although the illustrations would be challenging because it's not like you have a lot of cool space scenes and stuff. It's more inner.
Yeah, a lot of internal dialogue, a lot of POV.
Well, I mean, and it's more about inner powers and this infinite realm that you really can't picture. These things that are insubstantial and more abstract. And so the illustrations would be challenging.
Yeah.
But while there would be a lot of them that would just be people interacting in the picture, fighting or whatever.
Or a description of a place.
Yeah. So it is very much a character thing. And like I said, that's what makes it unfortunate that the female character was not written better. But the other characters are good. And they're not fabulous, but they're good enough.
Yeah. They're complex enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're thrown into complex circumstances, so...
And they have their own personalities. The master is kept a little mysterious, but he is kind of mysterious.
Yeah, that's just kind of his 411. Nice. That sounds really good.
The master is kind of like a Doctor Who.
I would love to see us make this into something.
And I think you should read it.
I would love to.
I can give you the PDFs. That's the best
if you can find the PDFs for me, I'll try and
book.
find time to get them read, because I think it'd be really interesting.
But yeah, this is going on our list of books that nobody else cares about. That
it's a great book. Well, it's a great story. Not even a book, but I think lack of accessibility is a huge part of that. I think people would enjoy something like this.
But there's
it out there.
I mean, all the Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff has been kept in print. And I mean, they're definitely not better than this.
Yeah.
Maybe they're as good, but they're not better. So why not this? Why is this? And like I say, the Rebel Soul has been anthologized many, many, many times.
Yeah.
So why not Into the Infinite? Why is this one being so completely overlooked?
I don't know. Interesting.
I don't know.
Begs to question.
And for a little bit, I thought maybe it was because it seemed to be, with him going after industrialists and stuff, that maybe it seemed to have too much of a socialist theme, and that's why, because there are a number of novels that have, like H.G. Wells novels, that have kind of socialist themes behind them that causes them to not be published today.
Yeah, have more or be more popular.
But then the socialist aspects, they just kind of came in a little bit and went away.
Yeah. Mentioned.
Yeah.
Mentioned briefly.
So it never really became a socialist novel. It didn't try to preach politics at you. It just kind of brought it in a little bit, kind of like the religious aspect. It was brought in a little bit and then pushed away.
Yeah.
And that's a nice...
Something familiar for you to kind of cling to a little bit.
Yeah, a nice familiar thing to cling to, but no, that's not really what this is about.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is this.
But that's what made this book so compelling to me, is it kept doing that. When you thought you knew where it was going, but no.
Never mind. We're
it goes
take another direction
it
real
takes
quick.
Not really in a different direction, but just develop things in a way that you weren't expecting, and so that now what you were expecting to run into doesn't happen, and this other thing is going on. You're going, what the fuck?
Yeah, where did this come from? All right, hey, I can see how it happened, but was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So this needs to be published. This needs to be read. This needs to be much better known.
Agreed.
It's just.
It sounds like something really up my alley. I think I would really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's just boggling to me that this book hasn't been, at least, I mean, Ace Books in the 1970s published a lot of stuff like this as part of the Golden Years series. This should have been part of it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. There were other publishers that were publishing some of these old books in hardcover. This didn't make it. It just always got passed over.
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe for a long time there was some kind of rights issue that kept people from being able to publish it, but now
maybe
that's
the
gone.
author got blacklisted for a time, and so people just didn't reproduce.
Well, he died in 1943, so it wasn't a 1950s blacklist thing.
Okay. But still, you can still do things to piss off the publishing industry, even prior to that kind of thing. But
the Blind Spot,
we'd have to dig into the more of that history.
He wrote The Blind Spot with Homer Eon Flint, and that's been kept in print.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
So
be interesting to do research and figure it out.
If you can, if it's even
or
possible
if it's just,
to find out.
Just
maybe you
overlooked.
just can't.
Or he didn't want to pursue putting it into anything but a serialization. And so everybody just kind of was like, okay, and forgot about it.
Yeah.
That often happens. There's so much literature in the world. I bet it's probably something like that where...
Yeah, where it's just been forgotten and overlooked, and nobody's kind of paid it.
Yeah, well, we found that with
look that way.
The Purple Cloud being a fantastic science fiction story that no one's ever heard of.
Well, but that one was published in paperback later on, and it was made into that movie.
Last Man on Earth, or.
No, but it was a black and white movie. It was from 1959.
Yeah, I remember that.
We watched it.
Yeah, something similar.
I can't remember the title, but it was made into a movie by Roger Corman. So I mean, it got a little attention, even though it's not getting any attention today. It did get a little attention, and it's on Project Gutenberg, and this isn't even in Project Gutenberg.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Really surprising.
So, I'm just mind blown that nobody's reading this and it's not been published at all.
So now we're here telling you got to go find it and read it.
Like I say, Famous Fantastic Mysteries, 4 issues, October, November, December, and then they skipped January, February, and published March, 42. Those 4 issues have the 4 parts. PDFs are out on the internet for free.
Just go find them and read them.
Beautiful Virgil Finlay illustrations with them.
Nice.
Read it. Read it. This deserves some love.
And then come back and tell us what you thought of it in the comments section, because we want to know. If this is such a fantastic work, why is it getting overlooked? And if you have some insight into that, let's start a dialogue about that. I think that would be fantastic. If you think there's some insight on why this is so overlooked, let us know. Because this is a really interesting sounding piece. Again, I have not read it. I intend to eventually. But yeah, if this is so good, why isn't it out there?
Yeah.
So
go read it.
Go read it. Like and subscribe.
Let's bring this one back to at least a little bit of attention.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Do you have any more to say other than
I
to
think
go read it?
I can stop at that. I've raved enough.
Yeah, and again, the conversations that we have together on these videos cannot do justice to what we have read. We highly recommend you read it. We would love to hear more about it, so feel free to come back in the comment section. Let us know what you thought. like and subscribe. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.